Good morning. My name is Debbie Gilbert and I'm the founder of the Best Business Women Awards. And today I am joined by Jo Bates, the founder of Thumbsie Limited. Welcome, Jo.
Hi, Debbie. Morning.
Jo won the Best Consumer and Retail category last year in 2019, but was also a finalist in 2017 and 2018. So it was her third time at the awards last year. So it was lovely to hear your name get called out and that, that you won that award. So tell us a bit about your business and what made you start it.
Yeah, so Thumbsie Limited was started about 7 years ago. I'm a mum of 3 girls and my youngest daughter was a thumbsucker. And she really struggled with giving up. She didn't really know that she was doing. I think it was such a huge habit for her. She didn't really know how to stop when she was doing it, and it just caused quite a lot of friction in the house with me shouting at her and trying to get her to stop. And I just sort of researched around, couldn't really find anything. I can sew. And have always sort of been quite creative. So came up with an idea and sort of to cover her thumb up, made some thumb guards, and she gave up within 5 weeks, which I was astounded by. Talked to people at the school gates, friends, and all of a sudden thought, actually, this could be quite a good business. So launched Thumbsie, and went on to make thumb guards, finger guards, launched a book last year. I've got little copy here, my little book, which is all about a lovely story, a very positive story about a little boy who gives up sucking before he starts school, and really sort of went on to develop Thumbsie to be not just a product, but a really good brand of helping parents understanding the problems that they were going through, getting involved with dentists recommending the product, and just being a much more sort of holistic approach to a positive way to give up thumb sucking rather than it being punishing.
Jo, just tell us what the issues are with children sucking their thumbs. What problems can that cause them?
Some it may cause nothing. A lot of children just give up on their own, which is brilliant. But if they don't, and they get to the sort of age of 5, 6, when the adult teeth are coming through, it can cause a problem. It can cause open bite where you see that the top and bottom aren't matching. You've got a hole, or their teeth could be sticking out. It could cause issues with the shape of the palate and how that's formed, which can cause speech problems. It can also, teachers say that children zone out quite a lot when they're at school if they're sucking their thumb, because they just go into a little world of their own. So, and it can have social issues. So it can cause lots of problems. As I say, you can talk to quite a few people who are maybe in their 30s and 40s who've sucked their thumb all their life and don't have a problem, and that's great. But for those who do, or the dentist feels that there's going to be an issue, then it's nice to have a simple solution, I suppose, to help them.
Have you got any thumb guards there with you? You can show us one.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Here's one you made earlier.
It's the most popular one, if you can see that.
Yeah, great.
A unicorn. So it just sits.
Oh, amazing. Right.
And then it's secured around the wrist with Velcro there.
And you do them in lots of different coloured fabrics, don't you?
Rainbows, particularly at the moment, are doing well. And then the finger guards, they sit over the 2 fingers, and again secured around the wrist. So lots of different fun fabrics, which I think is the reason they work so well. And I'm a bit of a fanatic about fabric, and spend quite a lot of money in research on looking for good fabrics, but it pays off, because I've got a lot of Google reviews, and most of them will comment on the fabrics, the fact that children chose them themselves, which has then encouraged them to wear them. So
parents can come to your website with the children and look through and pick the colours that they want. Yeah,
really encourage it as well. I think you get a much better buy-in if they're looking forward to them arriving. So we've got dinosaurs, unicorns, pandas, as I say, rainbows. I mean, penguins. There's about 45 different designs. Probably too many to choose from, probably. But and then we do a bundle. So we'd include the book, reward charts, 3 thumb guards, which they can then just choose which 3 they want. And then that's quite a good price and free postage. But yeah, it's all about the fabric.
So did you think that this idea that you came up with would get to this point like 7 years down the line?
No, I think it's quite crazy. And in fact, we just launched face masks 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Right.
And that's gone a little bit crazy. But again, I think it's the reason that's gone so well. So many of my customers are asking me, will I be making them? And again, I think just because of the fabrics, they've proved quite popular. And lots of children are wanting their face mask in the same fabric as their Thumbsie, so which is lovely. But no, it's funny how you have an idea and you think it's good. I thought it was going to be good, but I sold over 12,000 last year, which no, I never thought it would do that, but you know.
Oh, I mean, I think you're incredible, and to enter the awards, continually for 3 years, it also shows, I think, you've got a lot of determination and a lot of tenacity. So tell us about what made you start entering awards, because I think you've entered others as well. So it'd be interesting to hear your perspective on it, really.
So I entered, I think yours was the first I entered. I think there was a few I did sort of the voting, online voting, which I don't really like those, because I think that's just a popularity contest. Whereas I think what attracted me to your awards was the fact that it was business people judging it. And that just appealed to me so much more. If you're going to put the effort in, and I wanted it to work. And my SEO company, actually, Wagada, based in St Albans, suggested to raise the profile. Really, they thought it was a good idea, and obviously knew you very well and support the awards. So I entered 3 years ago and obviously got through to the finals. And I think that it gives you a bit of a bug, isn't it? Once you come. And it was an amazing evening. You do feel really good just being there, putting on a lovely dress, and all of those things, and coming. But then I started to then obviously enter others, and you build up a bit of a profile on the website, which can't underestimate having logos on your website, regardless of whether you've won or not. I think it gives you credibility. It gives your customers confidence, and so I was determined to win. So, if I'm honest, so to come back a second year, and to reach the finals again, I think I reached 2 categories again, and obviously came along again, and so was disappointed not to win, but nevertheless I was still happy to have been there. So entered last year, but I have to say, I decided to get some help, and I think that would be my advice, that if you really truly believe in your business and you think that you are and could be a winner, then it's helpful, I think, to take all the advice you can, listen to everyone, I came to one of your workshops that you do. I went to several others as well with other business awards, and just listen to everything, chat to some of the sponsors, chat to other winners is really useful. And so I did actually get some help with writing it. And in fact, you gave me some good advice and feedback, which is so useful, because writing for an application, I think, actually gives you a huge opportunity to think, where are you, where have you come from, and where do you want to go? Which, when you're a small business, I was MD of a business for about 15 years, so always had to put together business plans, and answer to somebody. And when you run a business on your own, there is only yourself to answer to, and sometimes that's really tricky to keep thinking of ideas or keep pushing yourself forward. And so to write an application gives you that opportunity to really look at where you've come, think how well you're doing, and then think, what could I do for the future? And actually entering each year, I only wanted to enter if I felt that I had done something more amazing than the year before. Yeah. Because if I hadn't won then, why would I win now if I hadn't achieved more with the business? So I think it keeps pushing you as well. And so to get some help, just to read through that application, because you've read it so many times, read through, give you some pointers, and maybe just sort of challenge you on what you're actually trying to put across in that particular question, I think is really helpful. So I think I would say go to workshops, listen to people, and get some advice. And
I remember overhearing in the judging room last year them saying, "Oh, Thumbsie's come back again," and someone saying, "Oh my gosh, you know, it's lovely to see that there's been so much progress in the last 12 months again, and she's built on and built on." And I think over that 3-year period, your business went from strength to strength to strength.
Yeah.
So I think it was that was your time. And interestingly, you didn't just win our award last year, did you?
No, I then went on, you know, 2 weeks later, I was still sort of celebrating winning your award. And then I won in November, Best Innovation at the Dental Awards, which obviously is an industry that I wanted to get into. And again, sitting there with 500 professionals, all in the dental industry, I did feel a little bit out of my comfort zone, and so was really shocked to hear that Thumbsie had won that. And I have to say that then really then helped me get into other things. And I think that's the thing you also need to look at, because getting in front of all of those dentists, I actually then, one of the judges was also on the panel of the Oral Health Foundation, and he reached out to me. We've had quite a few chats, and now I've been approved, or the product has been approved as for the Oral Health Foundation, which is a charity that's been going for about 50 years, all about the dental industry, oral health, and helping families and children to have better oral health, and in turn have better health. And they don't have that many products, only about 150 products, the likes of Oral-B, Colgate, those sort of companies, and then Thumbsie. So I'm really chuffed to be on their list of approved accreditors, but I wouldn't have got that without the awards and that route that I went through. So it was worth the hard work, and keep trying. Definitely worth it.
And you got some great press in the dental press, didn't you, as well?
Yes, and locally, and I think just getting into a finals is worth telling certainly the local press about. My local newspaper, Wendover News, bless them, are really, really good at helping me. Every time I have some news, they tell everybody. And I've been on the radio station a few times as well, talking about the awards. So yes, it's definitely a great PR thing to do, definitely.
So during this period, you're focusing on the face masks as well now, are you?
Well, I'm doing both. And actually what is great is that people are ordering both. So I've had quite a lot of customers. I think it's sort of raising my profile with the families, which is obviously the right market for me. So people are finding the face masks and then ordering thumb guards as well, or the other way around. They've come on the site looking for thumb guards and then think, oh, we'll get a few face masks too. Oh, here's the sort of so they're elastic, but they've also got a toggle so that they can be adjusted, and then they can fit nicely over. So
I think you'll be getting lots of orders for those when the schools go back, because I think a lot of parents are very worried about sending their children back to school without adequate protection, and teachers.
Whilst I don't necessarily want to be covering up children's smiles, if we're going to have to do it, then it's nice. I think it's nicer to have a lovely fabric than it is.
You could be a trendsetter in the playground, Jo. I have a feeling.
I have to say that thumb guards seem to be a bit of a trendsetter. You often find that a parent will say, can we have one for the younger sister? She doesn't suck her thumb, but she thinks it's cool and wants to match her brothers or whatever. So which is great. But which is nice.
Eye patches, could you do those as well?
Well, funny enough, my daughter, for her birthday last year, she had a pamper party, and we made them all eye masks.
Oh, yeah.
To go along with the spa day, but no, I wasn't thinking of necessary. cover everything up eventually. But
I remember when my son had a squint when he was little, and we were under Stoke Mandeville Hospital, which is up the road from you, really.
Yeah.
And he got to have a Scooby-Doo face patch over his eye.
Yeah.
So they had a box of them that he could choose one.
Yeah.
I do wonder if there is a bit of a market for that as well. I don't know.
I haven't thought about that, but there might be. But I do think that if you can make it that the children are happy to wear something and don't see it as a punishment or they've done something wrong, then I think you're halfway there, to be honest.
So what's the future for Thumbsie? Where do you think you'll be in the next few years? What's the plan?
I'm not really sure. I mean, currently I'm looking for more seamstresses to help me. I mean, I think just carrying on doing it well, I think is really important to me, and making sure that even no matter how busy you are, that you're still looking after your customers and talking to them, and that's really, really important to me. That and getting really good, Google reviews and just really pushing the business from that perspective.
Did you make everything here in the UK? Don't you? They're not shipped in from China or anywhere like that.
No, we even I have my own branded fabric as well, which I get made in the UK. So the fabric on the you can see here. So all the insides have got the Thumbsie logo in. Mm-hmm. So I have that made in the UK. And then at the moment I've got 5 seamstresses and 2 ladies who cut out, but say I'm looking to grow that. So yeah, they're all in the UK, and what's lovely actually, they all live locally, so they can pop round, obviously at the moment 2 meter distance and on the doorstep, but they leave their what they've made for me in the porch, and then we swap over and they go away again for another week or 2, and they're all local. So that's really helps them actually, because they can then be quite flexible and it fits their family life, which again is important to me, that people who work for me are enjoying it, but it's also helpful for them as well, really.
And that was an important thing for you, wasn't it, to keep the business in the UK and keep
and keep control. And if I get too busy, I can get my sewing machine out and carry on. I can also offer a bespoke service, whereas if I shipped everything over to a different country, I wouldn't have that I suppose that sort of personal touch, which is really what I like to be able to do. If a child really does want something with zebras on, then I'll look for that fabric and make it for them. So I think that is important.
So from 1 to 12,000, that's an amazing success story, isn't it?
Yes.
And a book.
And a book.
And face masks now. So it's been great talking to you. So if someone's watching the video or listening to this recording, what advice would you give to them about entering awards?
Just to do it. Got to be worth the try. I think not to get too upset if you don't. If you think your business is great and you don't, I mean, I've also entered and not got into finals. So it's not just a given because you're going to enter it that you'll get to a final. They are really hard and you do have to work hard for it. So make sure that you give enough time to your application. Don't start too late. Give it a lot of time. And then, just make sure that you don't get too disheartened if you don't get through to the final. But if you do, then great and well done. And enjoy that evening. I think the first one I went to, I don't think I really enjoyed the evening that much because I was just really anxious of what was going to happen. The second time, had a few drinks and thought, oh, well, we'll see what happens. So then the third time, I think we had a bit more than a few drinks, so we were really happy when we won. So I think it's just, just keep trying, try for the right awards, I think, as well, and think about what you're entering, and just don't give up, really. Don't give up and just keep trying.
Oh, I love your attitude. You've got such a can-do attitude, and well done. You so thoroughly deserve all the success that you've achieved. You thoroughly deserve it. So thanks for joining us today. Thumbs up. I couldn't resist that one.
Yep.
The website is thumbsie.co.uk.
Yep.
And the book, is that on Amazon? Or is that for your website?
It's on Amazon on its own, but it's also on the website as well.
Yeah, so people can buy the Thumb Guide and the book together on the website if they want to. What a fabulous idea. Good luck, Jo, and well done for everything. And it's been great to chat with you today. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
Bye.